We're just finishing our second stay at a Westgate timeshare property. I'm here to tell you something. I think somebody's been lying to us about Westgate Resorts. I'm going to tell you why right after this. Hello and welcome to Destination Timeshare. I'm Jeremy, and if you don't know already, we actually own and stay in a lot of Marriott Vacation Club, Westin Vacation Club, and Sheraton Vacation Club resorts. We actually just also purchased Club Wyndham as well. So we really don't have a lot of experience with Westgate. In fact, we've kind of been avoiding Westgate because of some of the rumors, some of the really bad things that we've heard about Westgate Resorts. Some of those just happen to be resort fees, fees to use the Wi-Fi, fees for everything, poor quality resorts, the rooms are run down, all kinds of things. So I'm going to share with you my thoughts about Westgate Resorts and why we think we've heard some incorrect information all these years, which has kind of made us miss out on something that's actually not all that bad. So we're going to make my way around Westgate Lakes here a little bit, and yeah, I'll just talk a little bit about my thoughts on Westgate Resorts and why we think we've been lied to. All right, let's start first talking about how we actually booked these two Westgate stays that we've had so far. A while ago, Interval International was running a Platinum Escapes promotion. I don't know how much the actual discount was, maybe $100 or more on certain select getaways. And we were actually able to get two reservations, one here at Westgate Lakes, the other one at Westgate Vacation Villas down in Kissimmee for under $300 each in a 2-bedroom. So you really can't beat the price. We figured, hey, if it turned out to be really awful and the room is really bad and there was all kinds of resort fees and Wi-Fi fees, parking fees, anything like that, well, we just turn around and cut our losses and forget about it. We wouldn't even stay. But guess what? When we checked in, there were no resort fees. And we were also able to connect to the Wi-Fi, didn't even ask for a room number or anything. Now the Wi-Fi is a little iffy at both resorts. The speeds aren't really all that fantastic, and it seems to drop connection every once in a while. But other than that, the Wi-Fi is actually pretty good, and of course no cost for us either. Now let's also talk about kind of the quality of the resorts. Really can't say anything bad about the resorts other than maybe some kind of maintenance issues with some of the kind of exterior facilities, shuffleboard, and some of the tennis courts. Those seem to be in really bad shape. And yeah, you probably really couldn't play shuffleboard all that well. Some of the courts have like weeds and stuff growing through them. So that's just one thing we kind of noticed. Some of the exterior amenities are in a little bit of rough shape. But as for the rooms, well, we actually got renovated rooms in both cases. And the one we're actually staying in right now here at Westgate Lakes, it seems to actually have marble countertops, marble floors in the bathroom. So really actually fantastic rooms. Cleanliness is not too bad. Maybe just a couple issues here and there in the room. We're actually quite surprised with both how big they are and how nice they are inside the villas. Now as I'm walking along past the water park here, and if you're not a Westgate owner, well, you might have to pay a fee. You can potentially save some money if you become a WOW member. That's World of Westgate, the Westgate Loyalty Program. And you don't even have to be an owner to become a member. In fact, over at Westgate Town Center, their water park had a 25% discount if you're essentially kind of the base or member level in the WOW program. So if you're planning on taking advantage of the water parks at any of the resorts, be sure to sign up for their WOW program. Like I said, you don't have to be an owner. And obviously, if you are an owner, well, you get free or complimentary access to the water parks. The water park is definitely a premium amenity, so I can understand a fee. And of course, I can also understand them giving owners complimentary access. You probably won't use it every day of your stay, but keep that in mind. It could add up pretty fast if you have a large family. So great kind of water parks here, something we don't see too much at other timeshare properties. Now, as I'm walking along the Lakeshore Trail here at Westgate Lakes, and also right beside the mini putt, Pirates Cove mini putt, well, I'm going to talk about just one other thing here, my thoughts about the Westgate timeshare sales presentation experience. I will actually have a separate video all about that. I'll put a link to it up there in the upper right. If you don't see a link there, check the description box below for that when that video has been published. But yeah, the Westgate timeshare sales presentation, a little bit unique from our experience, at least, with Marriott and Vistana. And the first thing I actually noticed about the timeshare sales presentation is when you walk into the main lobby, so much of the lobby is actually kind of tied to that sales experience. They even have an owner's referral desk, which is staffed. They have all kinds of computers, so you can refer your family and friends to go to a Westgate Timeshare sales presentation, and they'll pay you if they actually purchase. We didn't really find the pressure at the sales presentation to be all that hard. They did make a couple offers, tried to convince us to, of course, purchase, because that's essentially what they're trying to do. But they actually gave up pretty quick, and we were pretty much out in just a little bit over the promised 60 minutes. Now, one thing I did find a little bit odd is about every 10 to 15 minutes or so, they'll jump up, get on the PA system and announce such and such inventory needs to be deleted because we sold it to this great family from, and then all of the sales reps say, from where? And then they announce from wherever that person's from, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Houston, Texas, whatever it might be. So they kind of announce when people purchase, or at least maybe might have purchased. Maybe it's all just aroused to maybe make you think you're missing out on something great by not buying yourself. So I thought that was a little bit tacky, kind of maybe a strategy that they have to make people think, hey, if those people over there are buying it, well, maybe I need to as well. Now, as I sit beside my friend here, the Pirate at Pirates Cove Mini Golf at Westgate Lakes, I just want to talk about one last thing, kind of comparing these resorts to what kind of we're used to at other Marriott timeshare properties here in Orlando. That just happens to be some of the extra kind of activities that we notice at Marriott properties. Marriott's Grand Vista, big property, probably comparable in size to this one, probably maybe even a little bit bigger. They have musicians come in the evenings to sing or play music. They have comedians. They do a Polynesian luau show as well. So just a little bit more extra activities I've noticed there. Didn't really notice them too much here, but I really haven't looked at kind of the activities calendar. They do have an activity center, but I think that's primarily where you can kind of go and check out kind of equipment for whether it be tennis, basketball, shuffleboard, or even mini golf here. So just one of the things we kind of noticed, the activity level not quite as high here, at least kind of those more premium activities, although we certainly pay for those premium activities over at Grand Vista in our maintenance fees. Would we return to a Westgate Resort property, and how would we actually book it if we did? We would certainly come back. The resorts are actually quite nice. The rooms, definitely pretty good. But we probably wouldn't use one of our weeks for an exchange into a Westgate Resort property. Now, we wouldn't do that here in Orlando because we actually own Orlando weeks, and Westgate actually has an exchange block to where you can't use a week in Orlando to exchange into a Westgate Resort property in Orlando. Don't worry though, it doesn't matter that much because Westgate Resort properties show up in Getaway and with accommodation certificates quite often. So we would definitely utilize Getaways and accommodation certificates to book stays here at Westgate Resorts, either in Orlando or elsewhere. So we definitely would come back for sure. Resorts are nice, and we really can't beat the price here, at least for $300 for 7 nights. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see another video about Westgate Resorts, well, I'm going to put a playlist here to all of the videos that I have on the channel about Westgate Resorts, the properties, and kind of just some discussion about the company in general. So check that out. Coming up next. Thanks for watching, and remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.